Okay, to start off, you have the section here with all of the pieces here. So on the layers panel, I have two layers, one that has just this image simply brought in from a view on the internet. So you can see the heart shape of this. If I want to take a look at one of these to modify it, I can take the rotation tool and I can move the center of rotation and just rotate this. If not, depending on where I click this is where it's going to be the center, and then coming out to the outside it'll let me rotate this a little bit. So I can kind of match this a little bit if that's going to help me lock that in there. I already have some of these sketched out, so I'll just move them out of the way. They could be modified. They're separate pieces altogether. But just zooming into this section and saying, okay, which part of this can I do? If I need to, I can take it and move it down so I have some type of a central line. You can see it's kind of curved all the way around. So then taking the pen tool, just resetting this, and starting in the middle here, I can drag the handle just to set the curve. I'll zoom in just a little bit and continue to grab and click the handles that goes around this piece. I still haven't let go of the mouse, so I can hold the spacebar down and move the point and then zoom it down to here. So I'm kind of rounding this off as best I can. I can turn off, while I still have it selected, just turn the fill off to none. And now I can see this. You can see how it's looping around here. I just have to click to set this as a corner point and do the same up at the top. Okay, so now I have half of this. If I want to, I can click I for eyedropper and just make it green or orange, whatever color the pixel happens to be selected on. But I'll keep it on a dark color just so you can see it. So it's not too bad, but I just want to flip it. So rotation, take the reflect tool, option, and click right on the center line, preview it so you can see what's happening, copy it across, and there I have it. So I shift key the two of them. Under the Pathfinder tool I have right here. I can merge that together. So now it's acting as one element. Okay. The text, I just put thank you on it. I already have that as a piece. Trying to make it with the using the inspiring our students. So I've done this part. And when I do it, I just option to duplicate it so I have a copy to work from. And now I'm just going to take the lettering of R right there. So I can copy that or click down somewhere elsewhere. So to reset a text, just have to click and reset and paste that in there. So the word R is going to be on the 3D piece, but it has to be turned into a symbol in order to go onto the 3D element. So in the symbols palette, here it is. I already have thank you. Inspiring is 2 letters. Click it on new. I'm just going to leave it all set right there for now. I could paste in R if I want. And now I have that as a symbol. Okay. So this is the heart part of it. So I'm going to say it's going to be a lighter pink. So I'm going to try to grab a lighter pink down here from the image. And now I can go to Effect, 3D Extrude. And when this is, the extrusion starts, I'm just going to hit Preview so you can see it. Here's the isometric view. When you take a look, these are all the different views that you have in the section. So I'm just going to use the default for starters. Take the thickness of this is at 50 points right now. So I'm just going to drag the slider across here. There's a bevel that you can choose from. I'm just going to choose rounded, and it rounds this off depending on how many points. It's defaulted at 4 points, so I'll just keep it right there. There's a couple different icons for the bevel that you can try, but I'm just going to leave that there. Going into the more options, and that gives me the shading. So I'm going to click on a couple lightings, one so it's on the face, and one just click on here so it goes behind it just to see if I can get a little reflected light in there. So there's a little reflected light. And you can change all the light intensities. Here it is, for example. I didn't go in too much of it, but you can see how light or dark you can highlight either of these lights. So a whole mess of lighting that you can do. But to map art is where this file goes. It has 8 sides now. 1, the back 2, this top 3, 4 on the edges. So when you toggle through this, it'll show you with the outline which one it is. You can see how it's breaking up. So that's the only hard part when you put the edges onto it. So I'll just grab this R symbol, place it right there. The shaded artwork, it's going to go slower, but it allows the image of the mapped art item to shade through so it shows through it. Click OK, click OK. So now I have two of these hearts that I want to use. So I take the selection tool, just moving stuff off of the image. So I have some lettering, I don't need that. And this is a symbol, just be careful that you keep all your text organized over here. Inspiring, so here's another beginning of a text box. I'll take that off. So I'm trying to bring this forward, so just object arrange, bring to front. So it's trying to do that. Depending on the composition, I could put it behind it. Arrange the keystrokes for this, send it backwards or send it back. And you could click on this one, so it's trying to give you comfortable in bringing that piece. So you can see how the photograph has all these pieces all over it, so it's trying to, once I get this set up to be reading properly, that'll be good. I can't really rotate this. If I rotate this in the 3D, actually it did it right there. Usually it doesn't do that. Let's try this one. This is just the scaling of it. So you can scale it, you just can't rotate it or change the position of anything here. Okay, so trying to adjust the scaling of the size because it's the same shape that I made. And depending on if you want to modify this, you have to go into the Appearance panel, little icon here. Set this up here, and it shows me I can change the stroke. You don't want a stroke on your 3D pieces, but I can change the fill or edit the 3D by clicking on this part and going back, and it reopens the editor for that. Okay, so it's relatively easy. The next part, if I want to grab another one, I'll just duplicate this part here. I can eyedrop it to get a purple color or a green. So if the purple comes out too intense, I can go into the color picker to pick a more pastel color like that, and then I can come down to this section so I know I have these two pieces. So I already have that section. Double click on this, cut it out. Since to go from there, I hold the Command key to deselect and let the keystroke paste that in there. Okay, so there's the next symbol. So here's the symbol. Just click New. Since I already have it selected, I might as well just paste it in there. And now when I go to this purple one, it has the image. I can just go in here to Preview, grab all of the map art. It should be listed right there. And you can see it's pretty large, so either I distort it, place it up into here, best I can, click OK. In here's where I can rotate it or change some of the direction to try to fit there, and if I don't like the positioning of this, I can adjust it still and change some of the lighting onto this one. Okay, but this is where you can modify the direction, not actually on the piece. Click OK, and it goes from there. So that's kind of where you're at as far as putting this together, trying to come up with a section, and then once you have it, fill it with the background pieces just simply by duplicating some of these. I already have some of these behind it, so you can kind of see that I can come up with that same image, just Option and duplicate some of these. Either rotate them or flip them around, but just be careful which file that you take them into. Okay, and that'll give you there. So you can hit Tab, Command R, F key.